say get a win, get a win. If I was QPR player, it's a total free shot today. Be as brave as you like. Go for things that you've never even dreamt of today, because it's that sort of game for you as a QPR player. If you're brave, you get in front today, then you've got every chance of causing another upset, because it's going to be a hard place and West Ham go behind.
If West Ham go out, can Nuno survive it?
No, I don't think you can. I think we go out the FA Cup, if he plays a really strong team and they go out, I can't see it, Hugh. I think it'll be get the boxes out the loft, I'm afraid, and get ready to pack up. We're off again.
A 2:30 start for West Ham against QPR. That is over on Talk Sport 2 to download, and the Talk Sport app is available on your DAB radio as well. You can ask your smart speaker for Talk Sport 2. At 4:30 here on Talk Sport, we'll be heading to Old Trafford. It's exclusive here to National Radio. You'll be hearing Darren Fletcher's second game in interim charge of Manchester United as they host Brighton and Hove Albion. He's eager to get off to the best possible start in the competition.
That's an important competition, and Manchester United about winning trophies, and I think we've had good success in the competition in recent years. Won it a couple of years ago, lost in the final. It's an amazing competition. It's the first trophy that I won as a player, and it's a special tournament. And you know, as in with the season so far, not in Europe, out of the League Cup, Premier League obviously, but it's the FA Cup's a trophy that we should be vying to win and giving ourselves every opportunity to win.
30 shots, 2 scores against Burnley. He only had 1 shot on target and they managed to score twice themselves. What did we learn about Darren Fletcher and those United players during that game?
Not a tremendous amount. I mean, certainly what Darren takes from it, Šeško's 2 goals were obviously a bonus for him, a player that hasn't found it easy. Another striker coming to the Premier League has absolutely set it on fire. He's a very technical footballer, Šeško, and I think, again, got a lot of ability, but needs confidence to really show that. No, I didn't think we learned anything that extra special the other night. Look, Darren, probably by the sounds of it, it looks like he's going to step to one side and let along. He's going to come in and take it to the end of the season. I get that. I get the only one till the end of the season, but not long term. You know, long term, they've got to have somebody that looks across the other half of Manchester, the light blue half, and that United have got a coach that can go toe to toe with him. They've got a CV on his own. He's got his own CV, sorry, that is obviously maybe not quite as good as Guardiola's, but still got significant trophies on it. That's the sort of manager I think Man United need. They don't need, again, somebody to come in and try and reinvent the wheel as a coach.
I think it's a mistake to give it to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who I love and adore, and that's the reason why I think it's a mistake. Because if he does well, those Manchester United fans are going to be desperate for him to take the job full time. He's just so loved by the Manchester United.
And he did well last time, Hugh. He actually, when you look at what he did on the face of it last time, cup finals, second and a third, I thought he did well.
The issue is it ended badly, and I think that was a better. I personally believe Man United had a better team at that stage.
It always ends badly as a football manager.
Well, yeah.
It don't ever end good.
Michael Carrick's the other option on the table. Is Man United going to take it?
I think you can pick any of them. Darren Fletcher, Ollie, Michael Carrick. I'm sure they'll all make a reasonable go of it. But long term, Man United need that man. They need that manager or coach to go head-to-head with the very best.
We are in a strange position. If Manchester United lose today, I don't know when the last time this is going to happen, but they'll play the fewest number of games they could possibly play. They were knocked out in the first game they played in the Carabao Cup. This will be their exit in the first game of the FA Cup, and obviously they'll have their 38 league games. I mean, it must have been decades and decades since Manchester United did win a cup game.
Very true. I can't remember a season where that's happened. It may not happen. Let's wait and see. A lot of interesting stuff around Manchester United, and again, they have a new breed of people in and around the club above the manager. That experienced manager, that experienced man, that's someone who's been course and distance, just might handle that a bit better than a younger one.
And they got many of those from Manchester City.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it is true. I want Thomas Tuchel long term. Off the back of the England job, I know people say it's the World Cup next year. Most of the top players in the Premier League are going to be at the World Cup and then on holiday, so you get a little bit of time to come in and start prepping with them when they get back from holiday. We shall see what Manchester United choose anyway. Most importantly, we'll see how they get on this afternoon against Brighton. Exclusively live here on Talk Sport from 4:30, and we'll end the FA Cup third round with a Monday night game at Anfield, 7:45 kick-off between Liverpool and Barnsley. We've got kick-off between
live TV game, like Tipping Point, and I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. With top slots, like Immortal Romance 2, going to get a welcome bonus up to £150. Play incredible at 32 Red. 18 plus the gambleware.org. New account only. Minimum £10 deposit. Up to 50 times wagering. Max net supply. Visit 32red.com for full terms.
The moment they walk down the aisle, you want to see it all and feel ready. Our advanced eye test checks both your eyesight and eye health, so you feel confident in life's important moments. It includes a UV protection and dry eye assessment, plus an OCT scan for early detection of conditions like glaucoma. Book your advanced eye test today. Vision Express. Step out with confidence. T&Cs apply. Upgrade your free NHS BRSI medical card eye test for a nominal fee.
The UK's biggest used car sale is on right now at Arnold Clark, with over 20,000 used cars, all reduced. From Kia to Vauxhall, MG to Mazda, and everything in between. Whatever car you're looking for, you'll find a bargain at the real sale. It only happens once a year, and it's on right now. Visit arnoldclark.com to see why it's the biggest used car sale in the UK.
At Tesco, we know that beans means times. And you love to ask, have you had yours? All of you love it. Hater. And because I'm worth it. We're keeping prices low on brands you love, like 150 grams of Times beans, 12-pack of Weetabix, 250 grams of Marmite, or 700 millilitres of L'Oreal LV Colour Protect Shampoo. Look out for the Everyday Low Prices logo in-store and online. Tesco, every little helps. Everyday Low Prices includes thousands of products across the majority of larger stores and online. Selected branded products only.
Welcome back. It's a new season, and we're here at the Coral Fan Arena. First up, it's the bet builders pricing up their picks. No goals and 12 guards? All right, have it your way. Oh, and it's a mid-game appearance from the in-play experts. Fingers poised, ready to back the late comeback. Even at 3-0 down, they still believe. It's the fans that make every season spectacular. Coral, we're here for it. 18 plus, T's and C's apply. Gambleware.org.
FA Cup Game Day live on Talk Sports.
It's been an FA Cup weekend full of shocks and cup history. Robinson on the back push, Joe bombed it in. He has. Here's Anson. He's got the 150 shooting in the back of the score. The FA Cup is casting its magical spell. What an FA Cup tie this is.
This is FA Cup Game Day on Talk Sport. Our bumper third round of 11 live commentaries continues here at Pride Park as Championship side Derby County welcome Leeds United of the Premier League. A familiar foe, of course. Daniel Parker winless though in his last 4 games against John Eustace over the past 2 seasons, but he has changed the character of his team. We're going to dive into that in a moment with double League Cup winner with Aston Villa, Andy Townsend. But don't forget, during our commentary at midday, we'll be keeping you updated with 2 key WSL games. Natalie Pike will be watching at League Leaders Manchester City host Everton in 10, while Angelina Kelly's at Kingsmeadow for second place Chelsea, 6 points off the top against second from bottom West Ham. So lots to keep you up to date with throughout the afternoon. I mentioned the change in characteristics of Leeds United. Well, there are going to be changes ahead for the club. Big news for Leeds supporters. Plans to redevelop Ellen Road have been approved. And that expansion is going to see the ground become the 7th biggest in English football, jumping from around about 37,500 to 53,000. They want to have that open though for the kind of mid-2030s for the Women's World Cup. But it is a reminder of firstly how big a football club Leeds United are. Yeah. Because they basically say that's about half the waiting list for season tickets, that expansion. But the 49ers who've taken over, they think Leeds United can get back to the very top table. Is it possible?
Yes, it is, and I think that's sometimes when I hear of plans and ambitions to double the amount of fans you have coming into your ground, sometimes you raise an eyebrow and you think, that's a bit ambitious. Not for Leeds United. 53, they'll fill that. They'll fill that every week, and there'll still be a waiting list after that, because that is a proper footballing city in this country, and I think that it's worthy of a stadium fit for the 21st century, absolutely. So yeah, it's good news, and it's ambitious plans. Yes, you've got to have that as a football club. They've got to be met with a little bit of realism. they can keep bringing the money in to get that development off the ground. But it would be a great thing to see a Leeds United team playing from 53 or 55,000. That'd be amazing.
Leeds United marching on off the bench, so hope to be marching into the fourth round of the FA Cup. John Eustace, we know, is a practical manager at Derby County.
Yeah.
Defence first, clean sheets first.
Yeah, counter-attack then.
So how does he hurt this team and how does he stop, let's be honest, a lot of talented forwards for Leeds United? Nonto, Peru, Okafor and more.
Correct, they do. They have some talent in the forward area, Leeds. But I think they'll do exactly what you were just suggesting, Hugh. I think Derby will be extremely solid. It's how hard you want to counter. It's how determined you are when you turn the ball over and get forward. I hope we see courage in that Derby performance today. They're going to have to defend very well. They're going to have to be thorough. They're going to have to make sure they take no prisoners in that respect. But when they attack, you've got to be brave and get people forward.
Two sets of players making their way out onto the pitch in front of the full house here at Pride Park. It's already been a very memorable FA Cup third round. Let's hope for more dramatic storylines this afternoon. Remember, live here on TalkSport at 2 p.m, Portsmouth face Arsenal. At 4:30 we bring you exclusive coverage of Manchester United against Brighton, and on TalkSport 2 from 2:30 West Ham host Queen's Park Rangers. 8 games in total today in the FA Cup. We'll update from the WSL as well. But our first match is 1972 winners Leeds United visit 1946 winners Derby County, and your commentary team is former Chelsea and Aston Villa captain Andy Townsend and TalkSport's Nigel Andrews.
Thank you, Hugh. Good morning once again. And the FA Cup rekindles a rivalry which has simmered for generations, from Clough versus Reading, Lee fighting with Hunter, and Bielsa spying on Lampard. Derby and Leeds rarely get on, which sets us up for a classic cup tie here today. Of course, it's the modern way to have a number of changes. 6 for Derby, 8 for Leeds. The Leeds team is Everstone in goal, Ward, Landers, Bart and Forsyth. The back four, Brereton Diaz, Travis, Fowler and Blackett Taylor in midfield. There's a debut for Fowler, the young Dane signed from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Clark will be playing off Salverson in attack. The Leeds team, Darlow in goal, Bornau, Pilo and Ampadu the back three. Gruev and Tanaka will hold in midfield. Nonto and Harrison will be the wing backs, with Okafor, Peru and Metcha in attack. And Andy Townsend, we've seen Leeds have that change in shape. They went to 3 at the back after a poor run. They lost for the first time against Newcastle with it, and it seems now Daniel Farker is wanting to do that.
Well, I think he's seen signs recently, Nigel, from the Leeds team that they're moving in the right direction, that they are getting some of them, they're building even the games they lost, like the one at Newcastle, they're very much in it, literally, right until seconds to go. So I think he's probably feeling that this suits my team the best. I'll have to take a couple of beats on the chin, but I'm going to trust them, believe in that shape, and let them have another go at it.
And Daniel Farker has not had too many wins in the FA Cup over the years. At times he's either been prioritising promotion from the Championship or survival in the Premier League. Anthony Taylor is our referee here today, assisted by Neil Davis and Blake Antrobus, with Darren England the fourth official, of course. No VAR in the FA Cup at this stage. And it's Leeds United who will get the game underway, wearing all blue with yellow trim here today, attacking the goal away to our right in the first half. And over 5,000 Leeds fans able to come to this match today. They have packed out the away end on the far side, but we have to say a number of empty black seats around Pride Park. Elsewhere, Derby have won more points away from home in the Championship this season, but it is all about the FA Cup today, and Derby County against Leeds United always matters, irrespective of the competition or the status of the two teams, as Ampadu, the Leeds captain, works it wide towards the far side, and Derby have got to try and set some sort of tempo here.
Yes, they have. And again, Leeds quite rightly in possession of the ball, literally seconds after the kick-off. And it's Derby that have got to chase and make sure, Nige, that they do it collectively. Don't want anyone charging around on their own, all of a sudden you get picked off by better players. They've got to try and make sure that everything they do it as a team.
Derby try and build on the far side. Travis made the run from midfield, but a free kick has been given. And it will be a free kick for Derby County, just inside their own half on the far side, and the former Peterborough player, Joe Ward, will take it. Not too much change in shape from John Eustace for this game. 4-4-1-1 with Blackett, Taylor and Brereton Diaz operating as the wide players. A long ball over the top was aimed towards Salverson, and Rio on the stretch there, able to guide it back towards Palmer.
Just about. You're struggling a bit there, Bill. That long punt up the middle from Zetterstrom. Very nearly catching him out.
It's a grey, damp day here at Pride Park. Plenty of lying snow on the ground outside the stadium, but no problems on the playing surface as Leeds come forward now. Okafor looking to break into the penalty area down the left, but it's covered by Sondre Langas and cleared long downfield up towards the halfway line. And Leeds have certainly had the edge against Derby County in recent years. They won here 1-0 in the Championship last season. Brendan Aronson, who was on the bench today, scored the only goal. And they won the last 4 games here. Derby with only 1 win in 9, but that was a momentous one. 4-2 in a playoff semi-final at Ellen Road, which knocked Leeds out of the playoffs under Bielsa when Lampard was the Derby County manager. And that was a team which had Mason Mount and Harry Wilton in it. As Leeds try and come forward on the far side, but the low cross in is deflected behind, and it will be a corner kick for Leeds there first on the far side. We'll be off to the Women's Super League game between Chelsea and West Ham shortly, but first of all, Leeds have got the opportunity here.
They have indeed. Yeah, Jack Harrison did well down the left side. He'll be hugging that width and just trying to whip that ball in with his left foot. First corner off this left-hand side for Leeds.
Tanaka will take it. The in-swinger into that near post. Stooping to head the ball away was Ward, and it will be a throw into Leeds on the far side. Let's go to Chelsea against West Ham in the Women's Super League and Talk Sports. Angelina Kelly.
It's Chelsea 1, West Ham 0. Ellie Carpenter on the right-hand side delivers a low cross into the 6-yard box. The ball goes through the legs of the West Ham players, takes a touch from their defender, Uendo, and it goes into the back of the net as an own goal. Chelsea 1, West Ham 0.
Chelsea starting that game 6 points behind Manchester City at the top of the table. Now non-total Leeds on this near side here. 3.5 minutes played at Pride Park on Talk Sport. In the FA Cup third round, it's Derby County 0, Leeds United 0.
Yeah, playing with a nice amount of control and measured passing so far. Leeds United moving the ball very nicely.
The flag is raised on this near side for offside against Leeds United, but they do have a very fluid forward formation today. Peru can play as the deeper striker, but obviously he's got that finishing ability as well.
They've got obviously Lucas Mecha, they've got Perot, they've got Okafor. Those guys will rotate. One will drop in, one will drop all the way into the midfield too and pick the ball up. Others will then sprint in the other direction. So sometimes when you're playing with that extra midfield man, which Leeds have, that can cause problems. Now we need to sort that as quick as they can.
Monto penalised on this near side, just stooping to ensure that Forsyth went over his back, so it will be a free kick for Derby County. And the veteran Dave Forsyth back in the Derby team today, now 36 years of age, 13 years at Pride Park. He's seen some ups and downs during that time, mainly downs it must be said. As Forsyth plays it wide to this near side and Blackett Taylor. He'll try and take on Monto, and he comes in field, and he has support. And Forsyth will try and work it further wide towards Travis, and he does so at the second attempt, and then the challenge comes in from Okafor, and Leeds make heavy weather of clearing that. Blackett Taylor now looking to burst into the penalty area down the left, and his low ball in blocked by Ampadu, and it will be a Derby corner.
Yeah. Another Okafor there. Tried to clear that ball and ended up knocking it back into his own 18-yard box from almost standing next to the corner flag. That's a pretty risky plan. It didn't work, and Derby now have a corner. Leeds have to defend this one properly.
Nearly 6 minutes played. Ward will take it on this near side, so it will be an in-swinger towards that near post, and Leeds will eventually get the ball clear at the second attempt.
Always think set plays in cup ties are really important and good and vital if they're used properly, and certainly first corner whipped in there from Derby was a good one. They need to make sure that they keep that quality level there.
We saw the qualities of the set pieces from Macclesfield yesterday.
Indeed.
Salverson tries to keep the ball in play on this near side. The long-haired, ponytail striker for Derby County, but it will be a throw-in for Leeds United. They've also held the edge against Derby over many, many years in the FA Cup. 4 successive ties away to Derby, although they were all played at the old baseball ground. Forsyth, infield to Clarence Diaz, and he was cut down there by Tanaka. Both players hobbling away from the challenge, and it's a free kick for Derby. 10 yards inside the Leeds half.
Again, Tanaka diving in there in a situation where he's only going to get there. So you just get as close as you can. You make Ben Burns and Diaz knock it backwards. Instead of that, Tanaka commits to the challenge, concedes a free kick, and again another chance for Derby now to just put something into the box.
Ben Burns and Diaz representing Chile in the FA Cup third round, and it will be a free kick which Forsyth will take as he makes his way towards the edge of the penalty area, and it's lofted high by Forsyth towards the far side. Clark will try and recover it, and then Fowler with the ball down the line, and Bobby Clark now with a chance to cross the ball, and he's got support from Fowler. The ball will balloon off him, and it will go up and down the far side for a throw into Leeds. 7 minutes played here on TalkSport. Derby 0, Leeds 0 in the FA Cup third round. Don't forget TalkSport, the only place to hear all 3 big ties coming up today. At 2 o'clock we'll have Portsmouth against Arsenal with Jim Proudfoot and Dean Ashton. West Ham against Queen's Park Rangers will be over on TalkSport 2 with Alex Crook and Perry Groves. And Manchester United against Brighton, exclusive on TalkSport at 4:30. Monto now looks to slip it into the penalty area. It breaks on the far side towards Noah Okafor, who tried to shape it high towards the far post and got it all wrong, and it's high and wide.
I just think that when William Yonto picked that ball up, he's one-on-one with Forsyth. He tried to unselfishly knock it across the box for Okafor. The ball was slightly behind, and it just allowed the white shirts of Derby to recover. I think when William Yonto gets the chance to take the fullback on 1v1, back him into the box, do it.
The breaking news on TalkSport, Liverpool have confirmed Conor Bradley has sustained a significant knee injury late in the game against Arsenal on Thursday night. They'll undergo surgery in the coming days and then begin a period of rehabilitation, and no time frame is being placed on his return to play.
No, that's a real shame. That's bad luck for Conor. Do you know, again, commentating on the game the other night, as soon as he did it, you can just tell. You can tell certain individuals when they're hurt and when they're not. You can instantly tell that Conor was in trouble. I wish him the very best.
And of course, it looked fairly innocuous, which often means they're the bad ones.
They are. Indeed they are. That's exactly right. When players stay down and there's no one around them, really, trying to clear the ball, you can just tell he's done something straight away. That's a real shame. And it's a blow for Liverpool too.
Absolutely. They've had a number of injury problems this season. Nearly 10 minutes played here at Pride Park on TalkSport. Derby 0, Leeds 0. One out comes forward now for Leeds. Swings it into the penalty area, but it's gathered on the bounce by Vidal Zetterstrom, the Swedish goalkeeper. Only 5 clean sheets for him in 26 league games this season. Derby have not been able to get the necessary consistency to challenge the right end of the table. They're currently 6 points away from the playoffs, but if you look at their goal scoring record, they've scored 35, but they've also conceded 35, and now they've given the ball away. Forsyth straight to Lucas Metcher. He drives the crossing down the right-hand side, and it's blocked by Danny Bart, and it will be a corner kick.
Yeah, Craig Forsyth again there in possession, can easily serve the ball forward. backwards and knocks it straight to Lucas Lemaitre, who instantly turns and tries to cross that ball towards the far post, and in the end it now goes out for another Leeds corner, unnecessarily conceded.
Jack Harrison will take it on this near side in the wing-back role today, along with Wilfred Nonto. And it's the in-swinger towards the near post. Header away though by Langas. Now Drew for Leeds, midway inside the Derby half. Nonto. And Drew up again, wide to this near side. And Harrison. Harrison swings the cross in, but it's into the arms of Zetterstrom. It's a very difficult cross for attacking players to really attack. And now it's been given away by Harrison. Worked wide to this near side by Salverson. Blackett-Taylor going beyond Nonto on the outside. The low cross in though is cleared away by Brewer. Blackett-Taylor might be some joy under that.
Yeah, right idea from Corey Blackett-Taylor there, taking people on, getting to a wide area, stand the cross up, give people a chance in the box to arrive. You have to put some air on it. Unfortunately, the cross was right along the floor and easily defended.
Blackett-Taylor, who's only started one game in the championship so far this season, as a cross in from Harrison down the left-hand side, but Leeds right to this near side, and four sides well. Then into the path of Blackett-Taylor again, looking to use his pace to go beyond ball now, but it's well recovered by the defender all the way back to Darla. More goals going in the Women's Super League. Brighton lead at Aston Villa by a goal to nil. Lucas Lemaitre with the opening goal there. A reminder, it is Chelsea 1, West Ham 0. An own goal giving Chelsea the lead in the opening moments. And Borna comes forward here for Leeds on this near side. All the way back to Viol, and Rueff will find Giroud once again, and he's maintaining the formation that they've worked on in recent weeks, but a number of players popping up in different areas today, with Anthony heading back into the back three and Harrison and Nonto being used as wing backs. As Peru has been fouled on the halfway line, and Leeds have a free kick.
Yeah, and Willie Nonto, in fairness to him, he'll hold the width, but then doing the right thing, then he's moving infield, picking it up now right on the halfway line in kind of number 10 position. I think it's important he does that, keep roaming around.
It's one wide towards Okafor, but the low cross in, looking for Metcher is clear. Now Ward for Derby. 13 minutes play here on TalkSport, 0-0 at Clive Park, and Derby with the opportunity to spread the fly again, wide to the left-hand side of Blackett-Taylor. He can head into the penalty area, low shot from him, blocked in the near post by Bornau, and behind for a Derby corner.
Yeah, nice little switch from Bobby Clark out to Blackett-Taylor. Again, did the right thing, 1v1, don't even think about anything else, take your man on and make him defend the situation. Blackett-Taylor takes the shot, Bornau does well to block it, corner Derby.
And Ward will take it on this near side. Derby County beginning to grow into this game after Leeds dominated possession in the opening areas, although Leeds still have over 70% so far in the game. And with 14 minutes played, it's another corner kick for Derby County here, which Ward will take. Forsyth makes the run to the near post, but it's beyond him. And beyond everybody, straight out for a goal kick, and that's a waste.
Yeah, that's a waste, yeah. John Ward there not giving anybody a chance. Everybody run from the back post towards the front. And unfortunately, Ward's delivery is towards the back post. So I don't know why it's crossed a bit there. Just got to give... You don't always have to deliver it on a play. It hasn't got to be inch perfect for people to have a chance of scoring a goal, but you have to give them a chance. You've got to give them reason to go and attack something. And John Ward there doesn't.
And those Leeds fans on the far side are well used to travelling at this stage of the FA Cup. This is their 9th away time in 10 seasons. They were at home last season when they've been arrogant by a goal to nil, but they have won on 3 previous occasions in the 3rd round, but they've not been beyond the 5th round since 2003. Fowler with a throw-in on the near side. Just looked very close to a foul.
It certainly did, didn't it? Got away with it.
Well, it really is under 9 stuff, isn't it? But it's played wide on this near side, and it will be a throw-in for Leeds United.
They've gone along quite a few times, Edinstrom up towards Salverson. It doesn't look like he's the sort of striker that wants to be competing for stuff in the air every few moments. But if they're going to do it, Derby, then make sure they all commit to it. If your goalkeeper's going to knock it long, then get plenty of people around the centre forward.
And now Brereton Diaz looking to run it forward to Clark, and it's finds the penalty area. Brereton Diaz goes for the volley, tries to lift it high up over Darlow, but he's able to recover and make the save comfortably.
Unlucky. Nice bit of football from Derby, the best bit of football actually on the edge of the Leeds penalty area. Brereton Diaz might have took the ball down rather than trying to take it on the volley, tried to loop it over the goal, he didn't get there.
We play 16 minutes here, and it's 0-0, and we should also say hello to our listeners on Sirius XM FC in the United States, on Canada, taking our FA Cup commentaries from the Talk Sport Network this weekend. You're very welcome. Early start for you, relatively early start for us here as well, as the challenge goes in on Lucas Matcher inside the penalty area there from Travis, and there were half-hearted appeals for a penalty.
Very nearly got first contact there, didn't he? Lucas Matcher, and Travis it was who was tracked the run very well, made the interception, thankfully it was timely.
Forsyth will take the throw-in on this near side. And let's go back to the Women's Super League now, and we're focusing on the leaders now. Manchester City are home to Everton with Natalie Park.
Manchester City 0, Everton 0. It's been an even game so far, with Everton probably edging the possession. Best chance of the game so far has come from the prolific Bunny Shaw, but it was well saved down to the right for Brosnan. Everton will be happy with their start. It's Manchester City 0, Everton 0.
Thanks, Natalie. Oscar Crowder looking to make an impression here on his debut, but he's picked up a yellow card. He careered into a challenge with Brewer on this near side. Anthony Taylor gave the free kick. Crowder had his say, and he's picked up a yellow card for this end.
Yeah, he did. Actually, I thought he was a little unlucky. I thought the challenge was a good one. Anthony Taylor gave the free kick against Prowler. I think again there he just overreacted. He threw the ball into the ground. It bounced 15 foot up in the air. By the time he come back down, he's got a yellow card.
Tanaka will take this on this near side. Swung high into the penalty area, looking for those blue Leeds shirts. On a very grey afternoon here at Pride Park. Harrison now with a high cross into the penalty area. Seeking out Fletcher, but beyond him and Forsyth. And it's behind for a goal kick. And the final ball has been lucky for both sides. So.
Yeah, Jack Harrison not for the first time already in the opening phase of this game. With plenty of time, nobody around him, nobody pressurising him. Knocking the ball pretty much out of play at the far post. So that needs to improve.
19 minutes played, 0-0. Zetterstrom clears downfield and straight out of play on this near side, and it will be a throw-in for Leeds. Leeds do have some attacking talents on the bench. Dominic Calvert-Lewin notably, who currently has 7 goals in his last 8 games. Sliding challenge coming in again, which was certainly competent with Danny Bart on the near side of Monto, but had been given by Anthony Taylor, and ultimately to throw into Derby, and Travis will take. Good footwork by Clark to get towards the penalty area, and it's nudged over by Tanaka, and it's a free kick here for Derby in a decent area.
Yeah, really good skill there, Bobby Clark. Picks the ball up pretty much on the touchline, midway inside the Leeds half, but then skipped inside, missed a couple of challenges, did very well, eventually draws a foul. Decent area this, again, delivery, give people a chance. Sometimes there's always a temptation to hit it so hard and so flat and so fast, but that doesn't give attacking people a chance to get on the end of it. So a little bit of air is required from this sort of situation. Forsyth is about 28, 30 yards out on the angle.
Forsyth will play high towards the far post, and the header was won by Derby, but in the end the header from Sondra Langas was wide.
That's exactly the right delivery. That's a decent ball in that from the left back, dreadful side. Got a nice bit of whip on it, but again, it allowed Langas to have a real go at that. Made first contact, just couldn't get it on target.
Ronnie Townsend with us here on TalkSport today at Pride Park as Blackett Taylor chasing another long ball forward, but it's claimed by Carl Darlow on the edge of the penalty area. Has featured in the Premier League this season, made 5 appearances before the arrival of Lucas Perry, the Lyon goalkeeper, who is the number 1 at the moment, as Derby at the moment are enjoying a decent spell here.
Yeah, again, without overstretching Carl Darlow. But they're in the game, again, being competitive, as we said. I think Leeds have got better variations with the shape that they have in the middle of the park, but they haven't utilised it to their best yet.
Taken down well by Ward, down the right-hand side. Brereton Diaz, who is on loan from Southampton. I remember seeing him as a 17-year-old in the FA Cup. Score a couple of goals against Arsenal a few years ago, more than a few years ago.
He's always had great goal-scoring ability, hasn't he? Sometimes it's just the position he plays in. I'm not exactly sure whether he's best suited playing in a slightly wider right-hand side position as he is today, but we'll see.
In fact, that was Arsene Wenger's last FA Cup tie.
Was it?
Arsenal were beaten by Forest, I think 4-2, and he was a young tearaway then, Brereton Diaz. But he was Brereton then, he wasn't added the Diaz to his name, but he's a player who's had his moments, but possibly could have made more of his career so far, but he's still got time. It will be a throw into Leeds on the far side. 22 minutes played here on TalkSport. We've got Pompey against Arsenal coming up at 2 o'clock. And that's followed by Manchester United against Brighton at 4:30 with West Ham QPR at 2:30. 10,000 Queen's Park Rangers fans making the trip across London today as Leeds try and break again, but Metcher goes down, but no free kick given, and now Clark on the counter-attack here for Derby. Into the penalty area left-hand side. Blackett Taylor coming in field, strikes it low, but it took a deflection off Burnout and loops up kindly into the arms of Darlow.
That was probably a really good situation there, maybe the best one Derby had. Bornau defended it really well actually. Blackett Taylor 10 or 12 yards out, tight angle, skips inside on the right foot in the box. Bornau does well to block it and take all the power out of the shot.
Now Harrison forward towards Metcher. The waits in the centre. Metcher will try and go beyond the challenge and towards that near post. Langas is able to clear. Gruev tries to keep it alive. Harrison all the way back towards Anthony. Leeds continuing to dominate possession. Derby looking to be direct, using the pace of Blackett Taylor down the left-hand side. And now Beale back towards Tanaka again. This very busy period for Leeds. They've got Fulham coming up next in the Premier League. It's a busy midweek as well for certain clubs in the Premier League with the Carabao Cup semi-final first legs. We've got Newcastle against Manchester City on Tuesday, followed by Chelsea against Arsenal on Wednesday. And of course, tomorrow night it is Liverpool against Barnsley in the FA Cup third round. As Leeds come forward now. Metcher on the edge of the penalty area, turning away from the challenge of Travis. He tries to curve it right-footed, but it's over the top. And there's been a goal in the Women's Super League at the Joy Stadium. Here's Natalie Clark.
It's Manchester City 1, Everton 0. It's come for the Brazilian Carolyn. Probably slightly unlucky for Everton. Carolyn delivers the ball into the box, and I think I need to see a replay. It looks like it's clipped off one of the Everton defenders and gone into the bottom left corner. Manchester City 1, Everton 0.
Well, Everton beat Chelsea recently, but losing to Manchester City today as Zetterstrom clears downfield for Derby all the way through towards Carl Darlow at the other end. And the game's yet to really catch light, has it?
Yeah, no, it's, again, you can see why Derby aren't playing with genuine confidence, are they? Kind of serving it forward a little bit in hope rather than expectation up towards Salverson, the centre forward. I do think if Leeds take better care, they'll create chances. Nemecha's looked quite dangerous when he's picked the ball up. He slipped at an all-important time a few moments ago, but I think if they get the ball into his feet a little bit more regular, I can see him doing something so far.
Travis, all the way back towards Danny Bart, another experienced player brought into this Derby County team today, but someone who's been used sparingly as Darlow leaves his penalty area to head the ball away for Leeds. They will now try and build down their left-hand side, and they want to throw in. The floodlights have been on here at Bright Park all day. It's a very gloomy afternoon. The temperature has risen slightly from the last couple of days, but still a fairly chilly Sunday afternoon as Okafor has it for Leeds on the far side. Back to Ampadu, and Ampadu will turn and swing it all the way back to Darlow once again. And Biel's got the opportunity to bring it forward, and Dawn now increasingly is taking up positions wide on the right, infield towards Nonto, and he was caught by Travis, and it will be a free kick for Leeds midway inside the Derby half.
Trying to get tight, isn't he, Lewis Travis, on any of the bodies in the middle of the park. Again, he's dived in a little too much there. Just needs to, again, can't always get there and win it every time. The coaches are screaming at you to get close and try and get a foot in. You don't want to keep conceding cheap free kicks, which is what he's done there.
And Lewis Travis, a player looking for fitness, only a couple of sub-appearances since a thigh injury in October. Of course, he followed John Eustace from Blackburn Rovers. Harrison with the free kick, right to the far post. Beale heads it back into the box, but cleared away by Forsyth. And Brewer bombs it forward. The head tennis continuing with Salverson, but now Leeds will try and gather on the ground with Okafor. Appeals for handball from the Leeds fans on the far side against Brereton Diaz, but nothing given, and Derby will clear. John Eustace makes the way out towards the edge of his technical area once again. Well, we took over an interesting situation here last February. Derby were in the midst of the relegation battle, and Blackburn were heading for the playoffs, but he believed that Derby were the better long-term bet, and maybe events over the last 12 months or so have borne that out, as Salverson has been penalised here, and it will be a free kick for Leeds, which Tanaka will take. And again, continuing to be rather disjointed as Leeds will try and build here once again, but in many ways that's credit to Derby County, who have looked to stifle Leeds in the midfield area, but Tanaka may have some room here, and it's a good ball forward towards Metcher inside the penalty area, and in the end the shot hammered in from Peru, wide on the left hand side, and it hits the inside of the near post and bobbles away.
I mean, he hit that seriously hard there, Joe Burrow, didn't he? He really, really thumped that. Again, the ball into the Metcher on the edge of the box. He's taking those defenders on. Eventually the ball drops for Burrow on the angle, probably 10 yards out. Hits it really hard at the inside of the post. Goalkeeper never moved, never even saw it.
Let's go back to Chelsea against West Ham in the Women's Super League, and I'm going to Kevin.
It's Chelsea 2, West Ham 0, and it's a goal from Lauren James, and it's thanks to a mistake from the West Ham keeper Kinga Seismic, as James charges her down as the keeper is attempting to clear the ball. She blocks it, and it goes straight into the back of the net. Chelsea 2, West Ham 0.
So the top two both looking comfortable at the moment. Half an hour played here at Pride Park in the FA Cup third round. On chalk sport, Ampadu picks up a loose ball for Leeds, wide towards Metcher, who comes into the penalty area. It's flicked on the near post, but a good save by Zetterstrom to get the ball away. But now ball now for Leeds. Nonto, low ball in towards that near post, and Danny Bart lunging into clear, but the Leeds pressure increasing here. Gruev goes for the curler, but second strong with a comfortable set.
Lucky. That's the first time in the game Leeds have really pressed and gone after Derby, won the ball back a couple of times. You can hear the energy that it's given the Leeds fans on the far side.
And the Derby fans responding by turning up the volume themselves. Here is Ward. Wide to the far side, and Fowler, the one player who's been booked so far. Travis finding Berylton Diaz, but he's given the ball away. And Peru can come forward here for Leeds. Excellent ball into the penalty area, and the challenge is made on that shot, and Anthony Taylor has given the penalty.
Yeah, and that's a pretty straightforward decision for Anthony Taylor there. But just literally in the last 5 minutes, Leeds have picked the game up and gone on to a different level. They've gone through the gears very quickly, and Derby have struggled to cope, to be honest. They could have scored a few moments ago when Perot hit the post, and then Gruev had the shot that was well saved, and eventually their ball just poked through between the centre halves. Lucas Fletcher running onto it really quickly, touches it past Zetterstrom, down he goes, and he gets the penalty.
Well, he was clearly onside, Metcher. And he was beyond the goalkeeper, who then caught him. And Joel Peru, who is yet to score this season, has the opportunity here from the penalty spot for Leeds United. They have just turned up the power in the last couple of moments, and Derby unable to cope with that. And in front of that huge lead support, Peru steps up. Save! Brilliant save by Zetterstrom. Leeds keep it alive. And then it's put away by Ward. Well, Peru still waiting for his first goal this season, and that was an excellent save.
Brilliant stop from the goalie. It was at that right height, wasn't it? If he guessed right for a big man as Zetterstrom is, and he was at that sort of height, he's always going to get his gloves on it. Not the worst penalty you've ever seen, but a really good save.
Now Gruev. And that certainly turned up the temperature on and off the field here at Pride Park. 33 minutes played, 0-0. But Peru seeing his penalty saved. Now Metcher. Wide to Nonto on the right-hand side. Double coverage for him. Now Tanaka back towards Nonto again. Blackett Taylor gets the challenge. And gets the ball, but it will be a throw into Leeds on this near side. And Janko Vidal Zetterstrom with a really good stop there, as you say, decent height, but
good save, Nudge. Good save. Yeah. It's a giant of a man. He was bouncing up and down. His hands were above the crossbar when he was doing that. Just trying to intimidate Perot. Struck it well, but I think only goes the right way. As always half a chance he's going to get that. Really good stop.
Ampadu with a long throw here for Leeds. Into the near post, born out, flicks on, but there is Zetterstrom.
I think what's going to happen for Derby, they need to stay compact. As soon as the game gets stretched, as soon as it gets a little bit open, and they look vulnerable, they look like Leeds to me will be able to find the passes if they take a bit of care and create chances. So you can see why John Eustace's team are pragmatic, that they do sit back behind the ball quite a lot and then try and just counter whether they're home or away. Not always easy to do that when you're on your own patch.
Zetterstrom clears downfield again. Ball now rising above Blackett Taylor, but now fourth side. Finally Blackett Taylor. He can work his way into the penalty area. And he goes down, the challenge from Nonto, and then the shot from Berylton Diaz. And Derby are taking the lead. And moments after Leeds missed the penalty, then Berylton Diaz with a calm finish has given Derby County the lead. And has set up the shock result here at Pride Park.
Well, certainly against the run of play over the last 10 minutes, because it's been all Leeds. But they served the ball forward, and Corey Blackett-Taylor has been their outlet. He's been the one player that relieves a bit of pressure. They got it to him again. He took Bornau on once more into the box. And then all of a sudden it fell very kindly for Ben Brereton Diaz, who's just always had that instinct in and around the box. On his left foot, 8-9 yards out, slightly on the angle, hits it into the far corner. Really cool finish. And that gives Derby a brilliant lead, honestly, against the run of play, really.
Well, his two previous goals this season both came against Wrexham, home and away. I don't think there was a foul on Matthew Taylor, but in the end he did well to hold the ball up for Brereton Diaz, and Darwin had no chance at all.
No. I think Daniel Farke would be annoyed at the way his team sort of stood still when Corey Blackett-Taylor went down. Maybe they thought the referee was going to give a penalty. Everyone kind of took a deep breath, but without reacting, without moving. You've got to keep on the move. Somebody should have been closing that down. Brereton Diaz, he saw that as an opportunity to go and get the shot and has put his team in front.
Well, really set up now here at Pride Park with the championship side ahead as Nonto comes forward here for Leeds. Forward towards Metcher inside the penalty area. 36 minutes played. Derby 1, Leeds 0. Tanaka finding Gruab in the central area. And now Harrison. He hits it left-footed. He takes a deflection. Spins across the area into the path of Nonto again. And Tanaka. He can curl this, but he hits it low. And he drags it wide.
Lucky. Yeah. Again, good pressure from Leeds. Nonto quite prominent down the right side, rolled it back to Tanaka. Takes a shot from outside of the box, just wide of the post.
The goal kick. 2 minutes after Joel Peru saw his penalty saved. Derby had taken the lead, and Ben Brereton Diaz has not been a regular goal scorer this season by any means, but that's a big moment for him. Travis, high ball front forward, Ampadu will have time to guide it back towards Darwin.
Yeah, big moment in the game, Nigel, as well, because I think had Derby had gone one down, it would have been a little difficult, but that goal has certainly filled them with a bit of energy. It's picked the crowd up. It was exactly what was required before half-time. Big lead, that.
And Leeds have not lost to lower division opposition since a 3-0 defeat at Crawley in 2021. But they've had some pretty horrible days in the FA Cup over the years. Newport, Sutton, Rochdale, Histon and Hereford have all beaten them. Brereton Diaz is on the move again here, chasing a long ball into the area, but it's cleared away by Ampadu.
Very well played.
But Travis wins it back midway inside the Leeds half, and the impetus of the game from both sides has just been stepped up since that goal for Derby.
Yeah, just Derby on the front foot a little more now. Just as the ball is knocked into Okafor and Metcher up front. Now the white shirt's that little bit closer. It's amazing how you can feel the game can be sliding away from you. All of a sudden, you get yourselves in front and completely different picture.
And this certainly means a lot to the Derby fans, of course. Players come and go through the generations, but Derby Leeds used to be one of the big rivals.
Yes, it did.
Now Tanaka. Wide towards Harrison for Leeds, down the left-hand side. He'll come in field up towards the edge of the penalty area. Forced wide though by Fowler. And now the cross high towards Nonto. He nods it down. Must have been the smallest player in the penalty area. Blackett-Taylor though will clear. And now Ampadu. Finding Harrison again. And Okafor will try and clip it in. Ball now with a glancing header at the near post. Not quite sure why he was in there, but it's wide.
Decent ball into the box, actually. Ball now from that right central defensive position. Got himself right up into the box, made contact around the penalty spot, little flick header. And just wide of the far post. Epperstrom would have struggled if he had been inside the post for sure.
5 minutes to play in the first half here at Pride Park. Derby 1, Leeds 0. If you've just joined us, Ben Brereton Diaz with the opening goal after Jakob Vidal Zetterstrom had saved the penalty from Joel Peru. 1 or 2 fans around us beginning to
head downstairs, but Derby in a really good spell here. Forsyth. Low ball in from the left-hand side, blocked by Tanaka. It will be a throw-in for Derby. Clark coming short. The Leeds at the moment are finding possibilities around the penalty area, but not quite the conviction that we saw there from Raritan Diaz at the other end. Forsyth will loop in a long throw towards the near post. Bart flicks it on. It's then kept alive by Salverson, but it bobbles into the arms of Darla. He quickly bowls out to the left-hand side of Harrison. And it's played down the line for Okafor. And now the space and time for Ampadu to bring the ball out as the spare man at the back.
Yeah, no rush for Derby to press the ball or squeeze or go after it. No need to either. They've just got themselves in front.
Let's go back to the Women's Super League game between Chelsea and West Ham, and a goal for Angelina Kelly.
It's Chelsea 3, West Ham 0. Chelsea continue to dominate this game with a goal from Alyssa Thompson. A shot from Joanna Wright in Cambridge came inside the box towards goal, which Thompson helped into the bottom corner of the net. Chelsea 3, West Ham 0.
And Spurs also lead Leicester by a goal to nil as well in the Women's Super League. Here, we could be heading for a shock in the first third round tie of this Sunday, with Derby ahead against Leeds as Nonto comes forward now, fires a shot in and is beaten down by Zetterstrom and is able to make the save.
That's a decent strike, that, from Willie Nonto. 22 yards out. Pretty central position. Didn't have too many options in front of him. Decided to take the shot. Hit it well.
Well, Salverson on the move for Leeds, and it was one back by Viol, and then Viol goes to ground, and it will be a free kick. A goal for Spurs, incidentally, against Leicester in the Women's Super League. An own goal from Ashley Neville, who was at Tottenham for donkey's years before moving 2 days ago. Now an opportunity for Okafor to try and break into the penalty area for Leeds. Back towards Peru. Onto the left foot. Low shot from him. Straight to the near post by Zetterstrom. And then the flag is raised against Okafor. But Zetterstrom got to his feet anyway and made another good save.
Yeah, Leeds will be disappointed to go in one down, but I don't think there's any need for them to panic. I see more chances for them. Someone's got to take one, of course. Still think Derby, even though they had the lead, which is an important one for the team, haven't played particularly well. Rory Blackett-Taylor has looked a threat when the ball's been knocked to him quite early. But really good finish from Ben Brereton Diaz. And it doesn't really matter on these sort of occasions, these sort of days, exactly how you're playing. If you've got the lead, you've just got to work so hard to keep it.
And the rain coming down quite heavily now as Leeds come forward again with Tanaka finding Nonto on this near side. Blackett-Taylor once again coming back to help out. The ball now on the overlap into the penalty area. The cross from him, but into the near post, and Zetterstrom is able to claim unchallenged. Yeah, very important for Derby to get to half time these things up.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely right. Again, they've worked hard, no doubt. No problem there in terms of the effort, the commitment the Derby boys are putting in. It's just can they serve it ball, get hold of the ball, then get it wide, threaten Leeds in the box that way a little more. Leeds dominated possession and looking the more likely.
Great ball by Tanaka again. Now it's worked wide by Nonto in towards Tanaka, but it's overrun once again, and it will be a goal kick for Derby. We go straight back to Angelina Kelly.
It's Chelsea ball, West Ham 0. Sandy Baltimore adds to Chelsea's tally as she drives into the box on the left-hand side and powers the ball into the top corner from inside the box. Chelsea ball, West Ham 0.
And we're into a single minute of added time here at the end of the first half at Pride Park, with Derby County leading Leeds United by a goal to nil. Leeds have dominated long spells of the game, but a lack of precision in front of goal, notably the penalty from Peru, and Derby have taken their chance. Now Ward Comes back towards Langas. And it's gathered by Zetterstrom. He will clear long downfield once again. Blackett Taylor being held there by Ball now, but Blackett Taylor says, look, you're butting in, so he's given a throw into Leeds.
Yeah, that's the outball. Zetterstrom has looked to his left, to Blackett Taylor an awful lot in the first half. And see more of that in the second as well.
That's it, half time. With the Derby fans around us, tries to acclaim their team, they lead by a goal to nil. Everything happening in a 2-minute spell just after the half hour. Joel Peru seeing a penalty save by Jakob Vidal Zetterstrom. And within 2 minutes, at the other end, Ben Brereton Diaz scoring the opening goal for Derby. Half time, Derby 1, Leeds 0.
Well, they got the goal, but the stats very much in Leeds United's favour there. 65% of the possession, 11 shots at goal, 5 of those on target, 2 big chances to just 1 of Derby County, who've had 4 shots, 2 on target, 35% possession as you'd expect, 0.3 expected goals compared to 1.17 for Leeds United. But actually, in terms of the stats, it was kind of condensed for Leeds United the last 20 or so minutes of that first half, Andy. They've grown into the game. First 10 minutes or so, they lacked the kind of intensity and tempo that usually is the distinction between a Premier League side and a Championship side.
Very much, yeah, absolutely spot on. They had plenty of the ball, but couldn't really stitch it together in the last third. Then all of a sudden, after about 25-30 minutes, they absolutely started to do that, and they looked a completely different prospect. It looked like Derby couldn't really cope. First, Pirot hit the post with a blistering shot, the goalkeeper there hardly even saw it. Then they got the penalty.
Clear penalty.
Yeah, clear penalty, I think, yeah. Actually going through and touched it past the goalie and down he went. Anthony Taylor immediately pointed to the spot. He didn't need convincing.
I was angered by the penalty. Speak about convincing. There was a lack of conviction from Joel Peru on a day like this when you're trying to impress on your manager why you need to be involved more.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8 games, it hasn't scored as yet so far this season. He takes the penalty like they're 3 or 4 nil up. It's too lacklustre.
Rolled up to it a little bit, didn't it? I mean, look, when I see all the staggered, stuttery run-ups that so many players use nowadays, it drives me bonkers, honestly, it does. But you're right, I also think there's a way, sometimes you can put the ball on the spot, turn around, take 4 or 5 paces and sprint up to the thing, run up to it fast and hit it hard. Joel Pirot has kind of tried to place it, goalie guesses the right way and makes a really good stop. So, yeah, I think if Leeds had scored at that point, it wouldn't have surprised me if they'd have gone on and got another one. But as it is, Derby, without playing that great, nothing convincing about them, are in front.
You've got to take your moments if you're going to cause an upset in the cup. Zetterstrom clearly took his moment saving the penalty, and just a couple of minutes later, Blackett Taylor down the left-hand side, who I think Monto needs to get a few words from, because, look, in a game like this, if you've got the skills and talents to go at your man, go at your man.
Yeah.
This is what he does. He buys a ticket, gets himself into the penalty box. Yeah, the ball ricochets around, but it drops to a Derby County player, and Ben Brereton Diaz makes no mistake. But that's what you need to do. You need to have that kind of initiative and impetus to your play.
Yeah, you do. And he's done that, Blackett Taylor. Every time he's got the ball, he's never just dropped it back to the full-back and let someone else serve it into the box. Whenever he's got it, can I face my defender up? Can I back him into the box? Can I take him on outside and inside? He's kind of tried to mix it up and has worked really hard. And every time he gets the ball, you just think that something might happen. There might be something at the end of it. As it was, he was in the box and skipped past a couple of challenges. Someone got a foot in, it broke, and no Leeds player really attacked the ball, looked to clear it. And Ben Brereton Diaz doing everything right. Didn't think twice about it, just knocked it in the far corner to give his team the lead.
I'm expecting more from the Leeds midfield. Ayo Tanaka and Ilya Guerrero, who watched all season in the Championship, absolutely fantastic last year. I thought this was a game that they could really impose themselves on. And the Leeds United attack has shown no real cohesion either. Is that just a sign of when you make the changes, players that don't play together regularly, taking a little bit of time to work it out? Yeah,
I think you can argue that. I still think that Leeds, if they score next, I think will go on and win the game. I do. However, if they let their standards drop, if they don't pick it up like they did after the half-an-hour mark, then they could find themselves on the other end of another shock.
We shall see if we get that here this afternoon at Pride Park. Rams making a good start. They lead by a goal to nil thanks to Ben Brereton Diaz. Even Adams doing a bit of an intense warm-up in front of us. I mean, this game. We'll be heading to Fratton Park for live commentary of Portsmouth against Arsenal, where former England striker Dean Ashton will be our co-commentator. He joins us now. Dean, good afternoon, and are you expecting a comfortable afternoon for the Premier League leaders?
I think I am, Hugh. Good afternoon. Yeah, I just think, having watched the Arsenal team walk in, there's certainly not many youngsters here. It's what you would expect. There was a couple of absentees that I didn't quite see as they walked in. I might have missed them. The likes of Saliba, I don't think is here. But I would expect a very strong, because Arsenal's second, third string at the moment, because of the depth of the squad, is incredibly strong. And with the injuries that John Mousinho and Portsmouth have, it just feels like such a mammoth task today.
A centre forward who's not quite in form, Victor Gyökeres, would you start him?
Well, me and Jim Bradford were just chatting about that. I certainly would, and I'd want to, as a forward, when you maybe not scoring goals and lacking a bit of confidence, you want the best opportunities to get over that. And today feels like that. But I think Jim feels as if maybe Gabriel Jesus will start. I think it's a day for Gyökeres. It's a day to go and say, go on, try and get yourself the goal, get that confidence built up. So we'll see.
We shall see. Dean Ashton, thank you very much. Dean's going to be alongside Jim Bradford, as he mentions. Portsmouth against Arsenal kicking off at 2 p.m. here on TalkSport. We'll have the team news very shortly indeed. Over on TalkSport 2 at 2:30 p.m. Alex Crook is alongside the double title winner with Arsenal, Perry Groves, bringing you West Ham United against QPR. And Perry joins us now. Good afternoon, Perry. Big pressure on Nuno Espirito Santo to get a win today. It would be catastrophic if they lose.
Yeah, very much so, Hugh. We're talking about all of these managers making changes in the FA Cup. I don't think Nuno Espirito Santo can afford to make many changes, because if there's one team that's desperate for a win, it's West Ham, because you want momentum. The game against Nottingham Forest, if they got beat 2-1 here, the actual performance was okay, for West Ham standing, and that all sort of hinged on the disallowed. Some of your goal where West Ham would have gone 2-0 up. Obviously, that's disallowed, and Forest won the game 2-1. So, this is going to be a massive game for Espirito Santo, because they've got no game midweek. The next one is against Spurs next Saturday, which could be El Sacico, for both managers. So this is huge here today.
Absolutely massive game. It's live for you on TalkSport 2 from 2:30 p.m. Thank you very much indeed, Perry. As I mentioned, he's alongside Alex Crook. Download the TalkSport app. You can find it on your DAB radio. You can also ask a smart speaker on TalkSport 2. 5 games in all in the Women's Super League half-time at Kings Meadow. For TalkSport's Angelina Kelly.
Chelsea 4, West Ham 0. Chelsea have returned from the winter break with a bang, with an excellent first half display. An own goal from Uendo in the first minute was the beginning of some big defensive errors from West Ham, as Lauren James got the second, thanks to a mistake from the Hammers keeper. Alyssa Thompson and Sammy Baltimore got the next 2 goals, and well deserved for them, as the duo have been dovetailing really nicely in this first half down the left-hand channel. Meanwhile, it's been a painful watch for the West Ham fans, with their side offering very little going forward. Testing Chelsea keeper Hannah Hampton only once or twice. Half-time, Chelsea 4, West Ham 0.
To the Droy Stadium, how are the leaders getting on? Natalie Pike.
It's Manchester City 1, Everton 0, and Everton made a bright start and they edged possession in the opening 15 minutes. But as the half progressed, Manchester City began to assert their attacking dominance. The breakthrough came just before the half-hour mark as delivery from Carolyn, somewhere between a cross and a shot. It clipped the foot of Fernandez and looped past Crossan at the into net. Everton thought they had equalised with 5 minutes remaining, but the goal was ruled out for a foul on Yamashita. A worrying moment though towards the end of the half, when Schnoisch was stretchered off with her leg in a brace after going down on and off the ball incident. It's Manchester City 1, Everton 0.
Elsewhere in the WSL, it's Aston Villa 0, Brighton 1, Fuki Tsunoda on 11 minutes for the Seton Girls. Spurs 1, Leicester 0. An own goal from Ashley Neville, who moved from Spurs to Leicester just a couple of days ago, scoring an own goal against her former club. 2:30, Liverpool take on the London City Lionesses. There's a couple of games in the Scottish Premiership this afternoon as well. Dundee face Hearts at 2 o'clock. It's Rangers away at Aberdeen from 4:30. We'll keep you right up to date here on TalkSport. Bad news for Liverpool fans, and in particular bad news for Conor Bradley. He sustained a significant knee injury. It's going to require surgery. The right back, of course, going off injured on Thursday night against Arsenal in the Premier League. There's been no time frame put on his return, but it's also very bad news for Northern Ireland ahead of their World Cup playoff semi-final away against Italy in March. We wish Conor Bradley our best. And don't forget to check check out the latest TalkSport Daily podcast. Sam Ellard, Scott Minto and Perry Groves debate how to improve the offside law. They're going to delve into Arsene Wenger's daylight offside proposal and discuss how we can reshape attacking play, defending and VAR. You can listen to it on the TalkSport app or wherever you get your podcast from. At the break here at Pride Park then, it is Derby County 1, Leeds United 0. Will we see a comeback from the Premier League side in the second 45? That's coming next here on TalkSport.
Sport. It's in your DNA. That's why at SpreadX Sports you get great offers and features to aid your sports betting, including £30 in free bets when you join and place a qualifying £10 fixed odds bet at minimum odds of 1 to 2. Visit spreadx.com/DNA for full terms and conditions. SpreadX Sports. It's in our DNA. 18 plus gamma record. Qualifying bets not be cashed out early. One second get free £10 fixed odds bets on consecutive days. Free bet stakes not included in any winnings. Free bets must be claimed within 28 days. Whether you're chasing titles or just that first 180, there's a place for you at the Yoki. And at Target, we design the darts, balls, and tech that take every player further. From precision engineered barrels trusted by the world's best like Stephen Bunting and Luke the Nuke Littler to our next generation Omni Auto scoring system, built to keep your game flowing and your focus where it should be, on the throw. Darts, balls, accessories, smart tech, whatever your level, Target gives you the tools to play better, feel better, and love the game even more. Get on Target. Visit targetdarts.com. The UK's biggest used car sale is on right now at Arnold Clark, with over 20,000 used cars, all reduced. From Kia to Vauxhall, MG to Mazda, and everything in between, whatever car you're looking for, you'll find a bargain at the real sale. It only happens once a year, and it's on right now. Visit arnoldclark.com to see why it's the biggest used car sale in the UK. They say, go big or go home. But now you can go big at home with the Big Arch Home Delivery. That's right, the Big Arch is back and it's here to stay. Big Arch for Big McDonald's owner. Order the McDonald's app. Served from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Service fee and small order fee may apply. Upcharges apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Present participation may vary.
I remember holding her for the first time. Now, I'm about to walk her down the aisle.
Moments like these deserve to be seen clearly. With the Vision Express Eye Care Plan, get 2 pairs from £5.70 a month, including 20% off and an advanced eye test. Vision Express. Step out with P&C's a bank interest-free loan subject status. VE is a credit broker, not a lender, representing Adaro Optics Limited, authorised by the Financial Conduct Authority. Minimum 24-month term.
The fiercest rivalries, the toughest challenges, the top-flight dogfights, the do-or-die derbies. When it comes to the Premier League, we're here for it. Destination football on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. It's great football. Get match ready for the passion and the exhilaration of game day with your unbeatable guide to all the upcoming action. Weekend goals unlocked. Destination football on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Football is the hero. FA Cup game day live on TalkSport.
The FA Cup rekindles a rivalry which has simmered for generations. Derby and Leeds rarely get on. Farouk can come forward in the lead. Excellent ball into the penalty area. And the challenge is made on that shot. And Anthony Taylor has given the penalty.
That's a pretty straightforward decision for Anthony Taylor there.
Farouk steps up. Save! Brilliant save by Shepard. Back in Taylor. He can work his way into the penalty area. And then the shot from Diaz and Diaz. And Derby have taken the lead. Dan Brereton Diaz has given Derby County the lead and has set up the shock result here at Pride Park.
The first of 8 FA Cup third round games today, and Derby County are halfway towards a first upset. They lead Leeds United by a goal to nil. Second, 45 minutes on the way very shortly here on TalkSport. But let's head straight to Fratton Park because the team news is in. At Championship Clubbers, Portsmouth hosting Premier League leaders Arsenal. Your commentator is Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Hugh. 10 changes for Arsenal, but it's a strong team. Gabriel keeps his place in the side held by Liverpool. All 9 subs from Thursday's start. So does Ethan Nweri. Portsmouth make 4 changes to the team, beaten 5-0 at Bristol City. Berzik back in goal, Blair, Chaplin and Bishop all returning to a side that have got 8 out through injury. St Bobby have Berzik in goal, Devlin, Paul, Shaughnessy and former Arsenal defender Zach Swanson, LaRue and Dazelle, Stegacic, Chaplin and Blair. And Bishop for Arsenal's Kepper in goal, White, Norgard, Gabriel and Lewis Skelly. Ezra got the winner in the final last season. Marino and Nwaneri in midfield, with Madueke, Jesus and Martinelli up front. Kai Havertz back on the bench, as is 16-year-old Marley Salmon, and Dean Ashton's alongside me. We kick off as soon as you finish here on TalkSport.
10 changes for Mikel Arteta. Arsenal have been knocked out in the third round in the last 2 years, albeit against very, very high-quality Premier League opposition. But if there's one club that's going to cause a shock, and one stadium is going to be Fratton Park, it's going to be absolutely bouncing. Live commentary here on TalkSport from 2 o'clock. Before that, we've got the second half here at Derby County, who lead Leeds United by a goal to nil, and John Eustace is making a change at the break. I'll leave you for the second half with the former Chelsea and Aston Villa captain, Andy Townsend, and TalkSport's Nigel Andy.
Thank you, Hugh. And so too is Daniel Parker. James Justin has come on for the second half, and Sebastian Bornau has gone off. It still looks like a back three, so Justin will go in as a third central defender. And Edu Adams has come on for Derby. We had speculated here that Lewis Travis may be the player to make way, but I think they've taken off the youngster Oscar Fowler, who was on a yellow card.
Yes, they have, Nigel. That's what they've done. And so Edu Adams is on there to, again, to apply pressure, to make sure that Tanaka and Rua don't pick their heads up and start picking passes. He's got to get tight to people and get amongst it as soon as he can.
Peru, who missed the penalty, almost wins it back for Leeds there, but now Derby win it back, and here is Blackie Taylor down the left-hand side, looking to attack the penalty area. He comes in field, a low ball in from him, just lacking the end product, and it's gathered by Darwin.
Lucky. Yeah, again, Blackie Taylor taking his man on. James Justin immediately backpedaling into the box. But the shot was a poor one, didn't really have any power in it. But Derby will attack when they can and then get back behind the ball and frustrate. And as those minutes tick away, that's when Leeds can start to just rush things and start serving it forward a little bit too quickly. So we'll make sure they get the balance right.
Justin was streaking forward there on the far side. The challenge comes in from Bart, and it will be a corner kick for Leeds. James Justin, one of the FA Cup's unlucky men. He was injured for Leicester's win in 2021. I think he would have played in that game. I remember being at the match against Arsenal when he suffered a serious knee injury and missed out on Wembley, and one of Leicester's great days. And it will be a corner kick here for Leeds, which Harrison will take on the far side. Still a grey, fairly cheerless afternoon here as Harrison's corner goes right through the penalty area, but the Derby fans in very good heart at the moment, with their team leading by a goal to nil. And you were right, it's not been a brilliant performance, but no, the FA Cup's all about moments.
It's just about taking your moment when it comes your way. And what they'll need now, 2 centre-halves, goalkeeper, they're going to lean heavily on them, you would expect, because I think Daniel Parker will look at this and leave it 10 minutes. If it's not quite happening, then you can bet your life he's going to be bringing on Calvert-Lewin to this world, etc., to see if they can just give the Leeds team a lift.
High ball played forward towards Salverson again. Beale has to clear the ball away for Leeds, wearing all blue, defending the goal away to our left in the second half, and now Nonto has been caught. And Anthony Taylor will have at least a word. I just wonder if Nonto is the right sort of player, or maybe has the right sort of skill set to deal with a tricky winger like Blackie Taylor coming at him, because that's what he is himself.
Yeah, and of course when he's behind, Willie Nonto wants to be higher up the field. He's going to have to leave a lot of that to James Justin. Let him get on with that. Get back and help him out when he can. But in the main, I'll tell you what, Willie Nonto's back on his feet. He's limping a little bit. He took a real clatter in there from Forsyth.
3 minutes into the second half. Derby 1, Leeds 0 here on TalkSport. A reminder of the teams. Derby Zetterstrom in goal. Ward, Langatz, Bart and Forsyth the back four. It's now Brereton, Travis, Adams and Blackett Taylor in midfield.
Salverson in attack. The Leeds team, Darlow in goal. Justin, Beale and Anthony the back three. Gruev and Tanaka holding in midfield. Nonto and Harrison the wing backs. With Okafor, Peru and Metcher in the Leeds attack, as Blackett Taylor was almost released by Clark on the far side. But Leeds have it back again with Justin. Again, the crossing of the penalty area is woefully overhit. Beyond both Okafor and Metcher, and it will be a throw into Derby on this near side.
Yeah, James Justin already a couple of times. When he goes forward, he's quick. Very quick. That one unfortunately overhits the cross. Don't need to pick anybody out when we get into a wide area. It's lovely if you can drop it on a plate for someone, but far better off just putting it into an area, hitting an area and asking your teammates to get on the end of it.
The Leeds game from behind. The last time in the FA Cup as Peru comes forward now. Works on to it, Nonto strikes the shot not too far wide, and it took a deflection on the way through, and it will be a corner kick for Leeds United.
Yeah, nice little give into play there. Peru and Tanaka, little 1-2. Shot coming in, 22, 23 yards out, right in the middle of the field. Little deflection to send it out for a Leeds corner. Better from them.
Harrison will take this on the far side. And it's been a strong start to the second half here from Leeds, trailing by a goal to nil. With 5 minutes gone, don't forget we have Ponte against Arsenal coming up at 2 o'clock here on Talk Sport. Harrison with the corner, whipped in towards that near post. It's cleared back out towards Harrison, and of course he's offside. And the opportunity for Leeds comes to nothing.
And every time the ball goes dead, every time the free kick is given or the game stops, it gives Derby a chance to just reset and make sure that we're all aware of exactly what they're all doing. Remember Adams on as a substitute at half-time. Again, his energy and his strength will be important for the team as the half progresses.
In the last time in the FA Cup, 1996, Gary Rowett was sent off for Derby as Clark plays it wide to the far side. And now Blackett Taylor can bring it forward down the left, but he's challenged by Tanaka, but he's strong enough to win it back, and it's a good ball in field. Now Adams for Derby, midway inside the Leeds half, but Tanaka makes the challenge, and there could be a breakaway here, but Gruev is closed down by Travis, but here is Harrison now for Leeds. Okafor, he goes beyond Ward, but no further, and it will be a throw-in for Leeds on this near side. So 30 years ago, Gabbiadini and Simpson put Derby 2 goals up against Speed, Dean, McAllister and Yeboah. Scored late on to win the game for Leeds 4-2. Some classic names there.
Yeah, they were, yeah. That Leeds team had some fabulous players.
Anthony plays it wide towards Beale. And now Nonto on the halfway line. Back towards Anthony again. And the Leeds crowd, as you can hear, in great voice, but their team having to come from a goal down here on a ground where they won their 4 previous games, as Brereton Diaz uses his pace down the right here for Derby. The low ball in looking for Salverson, but it was behind him and it's cleared away by Beale. And Tanaka can now come forward for Leeds. Wide towards Peru down the right. He can break into the penalty area. Cuts in field, but the left-footed shot is blocked. And it comes back out towards Noah Okafor, who had time to bring the ball down and then never got hold of the shot. And it's launched high into those Derby fans behind that goal.
Yeah, Okafor there, trying something pretty ambitious. Would have been far better served. Just get the ball back down, get it wide, and keep the pressure. Keep trying to stretch Derby that way. Every time, as I mentioned earlier, you knock the ball out or over the bar, you give Derby a chance to draw breath.
8 minutes into the second half here on Talk Sport. Derby 1, Leeds 0, as Peru is challenged by Adams, but Anthony Taylor has seen another challenge on Nonto on the far side, and he's given a free kick to Leeds.
I think if he's going to give the foul for Nonto there, surely he has to put Great foresight. He's got to guard him for that.
It's not the first.
Yeah, he's got to do that there. Because Willie Gnonto was trying to run onto a potential through ball counter-attack. The referee looks like he's given the free kick there, but Craig Forsyth just trots back into his position.
I think Adams won the ball cleanly from Peru, but Anthony Taylor had already spotted in the corner of his eye, Forsyth pulling back Gnonto, and it will be a free kick for Leeds, which Harrison will take 10 yards inside the Derby half. Everybody back for the Rams. High into the penalty area, cleared away initially by Langas, kept alive by Justin, but only briefly. And it's hammered away by Salverson on this near side. Now Ward. And he's lost out. Justin infield. And Derby defending with an air of desperation at the moment. Very early to be doing that as Peru with the dummy finding Gnonto. And Wilfred Gnonto lashes Leeds back into the game. Derby opened up by such a clever dummy from Joel Peru. And Gnonto made no mistake to make it 1-1.
Great finish. Really powerful strike from Gnonto. Did everything right. Didn't have to take the touch, just trusted himself to walk on this. Hits into the roof of the net. Goalkeeper no chance, but really nice build-up from Leeds, as you mentioned. A clever little dummy from Pirro to eventually find the man at the far post, totally unmarked. It was Willie Gnonto, he finished that brilliantly.
First goal of the season for Wilfred Gnonto. And Peru, having missed a penalty when it was 0-0, has played a major role in the equaliser for Leeds. And it's 1-1. And Derby were just beginning to get very deep, and they were rather slashing at clearances, and it would have been a very long second half to try and defend a one-goal lead like that. And as it is, Leeds are back in the match.
They were changing the ball, I think. Yeah.
Well, the ball burst the one time that Derby won the FA Cup in the 1946 final.
Is that right?
Great knowledge that, I've got to tell you.
That's not an research is right off Spain.
You need to get out a bit more.
Yes, certainly does, yeah. Now Clark, looking with Brereton Diaz for Derby, but he's closed down by Ampadu. And the ball behind for a corner kick for Derby.
Take care with these. Corner now, off this right side for Derby. Looks like Joe Ward going out to take it. Again, make sure you miss all the crowd of players at the near post and give those big guys a chance to go and head it.
Ward will take the corner. Bart and Langas are both forward. And it's driven in towards the central defender, or rather centre forward, I should say, Salverson, who tries to flick it on, but nobody attacked it.
Yeah, exactly right. It was pinged towards the corner of the 6-yard box. Salverson makes a good run, gets a nice glancing header on it. Where's everybody flying in, piling in at the back post? Nobody there.
Now Beale for Leeds. And they do have the air at the moment of a team that could take a grip on this game. Offside with the back pass towards Zetterstrom. But of course, it is the FA Cup, and we've seen one or two surprises, to say the least, so far this weekend. There's Gnonto finding Peru, and that's a good ball into the penalty area. Nacho will keep the ball alive, Okafor. And then it's swung towards goal by Peru. Brilliant save, but it's turned in. Antonaki makes it 2-1. And Leeds have turned things around very quickly. 2 goals in 3 minutes. Derby undone. And Leeds United have taken control. 2-1.
Yeah, Gnonto again, the architect of that clever little run. Off that right side into the centre of the field. The ball ends up on the left in the box with Mecha. He knocks it back to Okafor, finds Pirot on the edge of the box, It's a really nice shot with the left foot. Zetterstrom spools to his left to get a hand. And Tanaka doing everything right, just following him, gets a tap in. And Leeds from one down are now one in front in a matter of minutes.
And again, Peru was involved. It was his shot that was saved by Zetterstrom, and Tanaka was the furthest player forward. His third goal of the season. And Leeds scoring twice in 3 minutes. And they now lead by 2 goals to 1.
Amazing how often that happens, Nigel. When someone takes a shot from the edge of the box and the goalie saves it, defenders on their heels and forward players on their toes. Tanaka there was just alive to it, just recognised there might be something for him. Pops his team in front. So Derby will have gone in at half time, feeling pleased that they were in front. Now they've got to find a way from behind.
Well, you played with some great strikers in your career, and the ones who scored the most goals were the ones who were always on the move.
Just anticipating, just always on the move, exactly right. Looks like there's a bit of action, Nigel, in front of us.
Yeah, double change for Derby. David Ozo and Rhian Brewster will be coming on very soon. Rachel Daly and Kirsty Hampton scored 2 goals in 2 minutes for Aston Villa in the Women's Super League. They now lead Brighton by 2 goals to 1. And here at Pride Park, it is Derby 1, Leeds 2. Derby leading at half time, but Leeds have taken control. But Derby looking to come forward here with Ward. Down the right hand side is low crosses, deflected behind by Harrison, and it will be a corner kick. David Oza on loan from Crystal Palace. Will be coming on shortly, but not before the corner.
So they've got Danny back and Langas. Of course, they've got Adams on at half time, so they've got Bergs and Diaz. They've got some big guys in there, Derby. So again, for Joe Ward, missed that first man.
Ward will take this. It's the outswinger towards that near post and hammered away by Lucas Matcher, and it will be another corner. And the deliveries from Derby have not been great so far, but they go short on this occasion. And the assistant on this near side, having done, is saying that the ball is not in the quadrant, so they'll have to take the short corner again. And presumably now it won't be a short corner. 16 minutes into the second half here on TalkSport. Derby 1, Leeds 2. Ward with a deeper corner this time and a header towards goal. It was a good leap. I think it was Danny Barton there, but it's gone behind for a corner kick. Or a goal kick, rather. And Danny Bart may have a problem here, so Derby will just wait to see who goes off. So while they sort that out, we'll go around our games in the Women's Super League. We'll start with the leaders, Manchester City against Everton and Natalie Park.
It's Manchester City 1, Everton 0. As you come to me, you can hear the man with the drums sat 2 seats from me, banging that heavily. City had an early chance of ball from short ahead, who was able to get her head to it, but the chance went just over the bar. Bonnie Shaw's had a number of good opportunities, but surprisingly, given her prolific record, none of them have hugely challenged for us. And yet, Manchester City 1, Everton 0.
And Angelina Kelly is watching Chelsea against West Ham.
It's Chelsea 4, West Ham 0. Much of the same from Chelsea, dominating possession with more attempts on goal. It looks like West Ham might bring on their new signing, Estelle Cascarino. She was supposed to come on at half time, but has had an issue with a piece of jewellery that needed to be removed, so hopefully she'll be on soon. It's Chelsea 4, West Ham 0.
Lucky Taylor and Travis have gone off here for Derby, and there's some treatment for Danny Bart on this near side, a facial injury after he leapt to try and attack that corner a few moments ago. And Rhian Brewster has come on along with David Ozo. He's on loan from Crystal Palace, and no danger of him being cup-tied as Nonto plays across into the penalty area for Leeds, and Rhian Brewster's first touch slices it high in the air and behind for a corner kick, and Derby rather lost their way here, I think.
Well, yeah, they've just lost their rhythm, haven't they? Leeds have very quickly turned things around in their own favour. They've just got to hang in there now, 5 minutes or so, Derby. Got to make sure they don't concede again, and otherwise the tide will get away from them. So they'll maybe have opportunities as the game enters the last phase, but right now it's most important they don't concede again. If they do, it's good night.
Leeds have had 17 shots in the game so far, 8 on target. As the corner into the near post is cleared, Derby have had 7 shots and 2 on target. That tells you how the game has been going. And Derby are still down to 10 men, with Danny Bart having his nose sorted out at the other end of the field as they defended that corner kick.
Just making sure that all the, as obviously took a bang in the face there, and there's a bit of blood, so got to wipe it off his arms, off his shirt, make sure that they clean him up before they allow him to get back on. It's a good corner actually. He attacked it very well, Danny Bart, but made good contact, but got clattered as well.
And Derby haven't beaten a Premier League club here since Southampton in 1998. And at the moment, they are behind in this game. John Eustace just checks on the progress of the treatment for Danny Bart on the near side as Leeds come forward again. Edu Williams has just dropped into the back four in the meantime. And Bart is able to come back on with a numberless shirt. And he's currently playing on the right wing.
He hasn't got a number on his back, so I fancy the chance.
Yeah, no one's going to know who he is anyway. Now a chase for Salverson on the near side, but Anthony guides it back towards Darlow. And now Tanaka for Leeds. 20 minutes into the second half here on TalkSport. Leeds scoring twice in 3 minutes to come from behind to lead by 2-1. Bart has now taken his more familiar role in the back four as Okafor comes forward on the near side. That's a thought from Harrison on the outside. Now Ampadu. And Tanaka. Leeds at the moment in total control of this game, it seems. Biol finding Nonto. Nonto with the cross into the penalty area. It'll be cleared as far as Harrison. He's able to bring the ball down. Transfers it wide to the left. And the curling shot from Okafor is blocked. And Derby, once again, all they can do is hammer the ball straight out of play.
Yeah, I think Bruno and Tanaka now have got a nice grip of the game. I think when Leeds have possession, invariably it's the two central midfield players that are kind of controlling the beat and dictating things. And I think if they're patient enough, Leeds, I think they'll create again and probably add a third. Derby has to keep believing and keep going, but it's more, as I mentioned earlier, through hope than expectation. There's nothing definite about what they're doing, but they're serving it forward. If they get that first contact or pick up the loose ball, get it wide, you never know, something might happen, but there's not anything convincing about what they're doing just at the moment.
Salverson wins the flick on for Derby from the goal kick, and now Brereton Diaz. And Salverson looks to play in Clark, but there were 3 blue shirts around him, and it's Biol who will clear and find Nonto on the far side. It's a very clever touch from Metchell. It looked to be from this distance to just bring the ball down and try and play in Peru, but it's out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Derby. We welcome our listeners from the USA and Canada on Sirius XM-FC. Hopefully enjoying our FA Cup commentaries across the TalkSport network this weekend, and coming up in less than an hour, assuming we don't have extra time here, we have Portsmouth against Arsenal as Leeds try and come forward on the far side, but Derby will clear and it will be a throw-in. Well, there has been another goal in the Women's Super League game involving the leaders. Here's Natalie Pike.
It's Manchester City 2, Everton 0. It's gone for Vivian Miedema. All the credit goes to Bonnie Shaw. She held up the ball so well. The top of the 18-yard box. She waited, dinked a lovely little ball over the top to the feet of Miedema, who slotted the ball past the keeper and into the bottom right corner. Manchester City 2, Everton 0.
So the Women's Super League's all-time top goal scorer on the score sheet in City will remain 6 points clear of Chelsea, who are leading West Ham by 4-0. Aston Villa
still 2-1 up on Brighton, and Spurs a goal up on Leicester. Liverpool against London City Lionesses is the later game at 2:30. Free kick in for Leeds. On the far side there, right. Harrison will whip it into the near post, but it's headed away by Ward. Clark will try and run it down. Grew up though, lets it down towards Nonto, and then a ball over the top. Looking for Harrison. Harrison with a low cross in, but it's cleared away by Langas. And it ricochets off Clark straight out of play. And it will be a throw-in. Also coming up on the TalkSport network on TalkSport 2, West Ham against Queen's Park Rangers at 2:30 with Alex Crook and Perry Groves, and then Mark Wilson and Mike Phelan will bring you Manchester United against Brighton, exclusive to TalkSport at 4:30 with Liverpool against Barnsley, with Sam and Charlie Adam coming up tomorrow night at 7:45, and we'll also have the draw for the 4th round. The Leeds are heading into it at the moment. In Derby, we called them a bit of a moment, Stephen. That's what they are at the moment.
Yeah. Haven't been able to get Rhian Brewster involved in the game yet since he's come on. I've lost Brackett Taylor, of course, in his pace and his direct play. I just feel like it's whenever Leeds want to pick it up a little more now and add to the 2 they've got.
Peru almost losing out to Ozil. There'll be 2 more changes for Derby very soon. Patrick Agyemang will be coming on, along with one of the youngsters, Owen Eames, a young midfielder, 19 years of age. And Agyemang, the American international, does have 6 goals so far this season. We are inside the final 20 minutes here at Pride Park. Derby County 1, Leeds United 2. Okafor, an excellent ball wide towards the far side, and Justin is quick enough to keep the ball in play, and he can now break into the penalty area back towards Peru, but his first touch was heavy. He now wins it back, and he turns and shoots, but it's comfortable for Zetterstrom.
Yeah, it looked like Salverson actually taking that away from Peru, and then he just let him have it back. The Leeds man tested the goalkeeper from 20 yards, but comfortably saved. We're waiting for the last couple of subs to come on now for Derby, just to see whether they can have any effect. I think we're at that point in the game where they need to get it forward and get people around it, and just try and create a little bit of chaos, something to disrupt Leeds United.
Forsyth clears the ball away for Derby on the far side. And they will have a throw, and here come those changes. And it's Leeds to make one first, and it's Ilya Gruev who comes off, and Sean Longstaff will come on to replace him. His first appearance since the middle of November. And Bobby Clark will make way for Owen Eames. And Patrick Agyemang will also come on for Derby. And a large Jorgen Salverson is replaced by him. So, John Eustace has really played all his cards here.
Yeah, chance for Owen Eames to just try and play in that number 10 position where Bobby Clark was operating. Patrick Agyemang on for Salverson, never really ever looked like worrying Ampadu and Co at the back. Now, can Agyemang maybe affect them a little bit with his sheer presence, his size? In order to do that, Derby have got to understand they've got to get it forward. They can't keep knocking it about the back and let the clock run down and the game slide away from them. You've got to start to force it and make things happen.
Now also, it seems the ball in a difficult area from his goalkeeper. And then it's played in field, and Adams is also under pressure, and Derby trying to force it, and as a result, almost giving the ball away. Now Bart goes long, looking for Agyemang, who doesn't leap forward and instead tries to turn in field, and there's just a moment's hesitation there between Justin and Darlow as Agyemang bore down on the ball, but in the end, Leeds will clear, and Okafor can bring it forward at the other end here. Now Nonto, wide on the right-hand side, Tonto continues, plays it back to Tanaka. Now Harrison on the left-hand side. Leeds looking to finish things off, and a header is kept out superbly by Zetterstrom. And now Tonto again. Back towards Tanaka. And Longstaff, his first involvement. Harrison going beyond Brewster. And the cross just lacking any real menace, and it's played by Zetterstrom, who kept this team in the FA Cup there.
Certainly did. Great save. Lovely ball in from Jack Harrison. Glancing header. Powerful header as well. I think it was Bonaventure, and Zetterstrom had to make a really important save.
Yeah, it was the German who made a good contact with Zetterstrom. Beat the ball away. Now Adams picks up a loose ball from Harrison. And Eames looks to work it wide to Brereton Diaz, but again the pass lacking the quality in its route to goal.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Owen Eames. He's only just been on the field a couple of minutes. Actually, the ball broke nicely for him in the middle of the park. He looked to his left, he saw Ben Brereton Diaz waiting for a pass. It was just a fraction over here.
Harrison forward towards Okafor, and now Harrison again for Leeds. And they've been in decent form in the Premier League. That loss against Newcastle, ending a 7-match unbeaten run, although 5 of those were draws. But they're heading in the right direction. And they're heading into round 4 as it stands, leading here by 2 goals to 1. Tanaka going back towards Ampadu. And they've been very comfortable, really, Andy, for the moment they scored the second goal.
They have. I think they've sort of played quite conservatively as well, Reece. I think they've got gears to find when they needed to up it a little bit. Whenever they've looked like doing that, Derby have struggled to cope with it, to be honest. Like, the game is still tight. There's only the one in it. So it just takes one moment, brilliance, and a momentary lap of concentration, they might be back in it.
Okafor now with a break into the penalty area. And Bart lunges in to clear the ball away. And there will be a throw-in for Leeds on this near side. 21,741 is the crowd here, which is some way short of capacity. Here is Peru. We'll be off to the London Stadium for team news shortly, but Leeds coming forward here again. Ampadu finding Longstaff. And it's keep ball here at times now as they just look to grind Derby down before it's worked wide towards Tonto. And now Tanaka, the 2 goal scorers combining wide on the right-hand side with 13 minutes to play. And now Ampadu again. And Derby are chasing shadows at the moment. So as Leeds continue to play keep ball, we'll get some team news from the London Stadium. West Ham against Queen's Park Rangers. This game will be live on TalkSport 2 at 2:30, and we can say good afternoon to Alex Crook.
Good afternoon. 6 changes for the Hammers from the side beaten by Forest here on Tuesday. Hermansen, Kilman, Wan-Bissaka, Potts, Magassa and Mayers are the players who come in. 4 changes for QPR. Walsh replaces Hamer in goal. Dembele, Hayden and Colley also start with Poku, Varane and Burrell ruled out by injury. At London Stadium, it's West Ham against QPR.
Thanks, Alex. We'll have commentary here on TalkSport at 2 of Portsmouth against Arsenal with Jim Proudfoot and Dean Ashton. And there's been another goal at Kingsman in the Women's Super League. Here's Angelina Kelly.
It's Chelsea 5, West Ham 0. Sandy Baltimore gets her second goal, this time from a penalty after handball from West Ham's Vivian Asseyu when blocking a shot inside the area. Baltimore stepped up to the spot and buried it low into the back of the net, sending the goalkeeper the other way. Chelsea 5, West Ham 0.
Derby have a free kick here as the rain comes down again with 12 minutes to play. It's wide on the far side. Forsyth swings it in. It travels a long way. It bounces up before Leeds will clear. Now Brereton Diaz goes back towards Ward. And here is Ozo working it wide to the left. Brewster involved pretty much the first time in the game for side. He takes a deflection off Longstaff, and Leeds will play it back towards Darlow, and he clears. Derby, if they're looking to produce a big finisher, it needs to start fairly soon.
Yeah, they need to start getting high up enough the field as a team to put a bit of pressure on Leeds and just rattle them a little bit. They're able to pick their passes, play their way out, build up through the field. And again, every time we see a free kick conceded there, like Danny Bat just did on Mecha, it just slows the game down for Leeds.
So free kick for Leeds, midway inside the Leeds half, and we go back to the Women's Super League, Manchester City against Everton, and Natalie Park.
Manchester City 2, Everton 0. We've got 15 minutes left here. Despite being 2 goals down, Everton's defence have really performed well today. City, obviously the league's top scorers, have had 24 shots in this game, 10 of them on target. And in particular, Courtney Brosnan has had the better of Bunny Shaw throughout the match. It's Manchester City 2, Everton 0.
Here we have 10 minutes to play at Pride Park on TalkSport. Derby County 1, Leeds United 2. Derby ahead at half-time, but Leeds coming back with 2 quick goals early in the second half from Wilfred Nonto and Ayo Tanaka. And they've rarely been troubled since.
Yeah, I don't think Carl Dollar has had to put his hands on anything significant second half. I can't really remember he has. I think when Leeds get the ball out to Noah Okafor, he carries the ball really well. So he's a difficult player to handle when he gets in full flow. But they didn't panic. I didn't think they would. I'm sure at half-time, Daniel Parker would have just said to his players, keep going, you're going to create chances here, you will find a way through. They did that. Since they've been in front, they've rarely been troubled.
Here's Tanaka. And he lost it straight out of play. Daniel Parker watches the ball whistle past him in the Leeds technical area. Derby try and build now with Adams on the halfway line. The crowd urging him to play it forward. He finds Brereton Diaz. Now Ward back in field towards Brereton Diaz. He six out Brewster on the far side, but it's cut out by Nonto, but it's quickly won back, and here is Forsyth. Clever flick from Brewster. Brereton Diaz. Leeds will gather level with the edge of the Leeds penalty area on the far side. Back towards Ozo, and here is Adams. And Derby have got to try and produce something around the penalty area, but they're going backwards once again.
They've got Adjumang standing up the middle, screaming out for some sort of service, some sort of supply.
Ward coming in field just in front of us down the Derby right-hand side. 8 minutes to play. And Brereton Diaz was loose with his control, and Tanaka will go all the way back to Derby. The home fans around us had real hope at half-time with their team leading by a goal to nil, but they never really gave themselves the chance to build on it.
No, they didn't. Since they've been behind as well, whenever Leeds press, Derby haven't got the confidence to play their way through it. Maybe the ability to be honest. They don't really look like when Leeds really go after them, they can handle that.
And now Nonto has written a challenge, cuts in field from the right-hand side, looks to play it through towards Mecha. Okafor waits at the far post. Mecha's shot, it's blocked by Bart. It will rebound out to Landstaff, who heads it down for Tanaka. And Leeds have just pinged the ball around the midfield with a bit more panache at times. Landstaff finding Nonto again. And it's all the way back towards Darlow. And it's an FA Cup title, maybe it's not the right time to ask the question, but I can't really discern what Derby's style of play is.
No, it's not apparent, is it? And again, I think coming here today, speaking with people that are Derby fans, they say that they pretty much always try and counter-attack, that they're not particularly comfortable trying to have the ball and dominate possession. The hallmarks of that are there, aren't they? You can witness that with your own eyes today. They've never really had a spell in the game where you think to yourself, wow, they're really getting not really happened.
They've had 34% possession overall so far in the game.
Which against the Premier League team, Nigel, not necessarily is that unexpected, but it's when they have had it, what they've done with it, and it's not been a lot, to be honest.
Only 2 shots on target, Leeds have had 10. Harrison coming forward now from deep, tries to thread it into the penalty area, but Mark will slide into clear. And here is Brereton Diaz on the halfway line, turning away from the challenge of Ampadu. He's got Adjamang ahead of him, and Adjamang will try and chase here, but it's overhit, and it's gathered by Darla.
Good goalkeeping. Well done, Carl Darla there. Right to the corner of the 18-yard box to just take that one away from Adjamang as he was running through.
On Tanaka. Right towards Viol. 6 minutes to play here at Pride Park. Leeds leading by 2 goals to 1, and they'll get a free kick here because Danny Barker's been penalised for nudging the back of Lucas Metcher. More changes for Leeds, and Wilfred Nonto will be coming off here, and Sam Byron will come on, a more authentic wing back possibly for the closing few minutes.
He worked hard, Wilfred Nonto, and got that all-important equaliser. Really good finish as well from him. As he soaks up the applause from the struggling Leeds faithful. In no hurry to get off the field, of course. You won't have to sprint off. He's just walking across from the far side before Sam Byron actually comes on. But yeah, works very hard today for his team, and that goal was crucial.
Sam Byron only played 7 minutes in the Premier League this season and made his FA Cup debut for Leeds back in 2013. Of course, he's been away since. And he will take what for him is a relatively unfamiliar role on the right-hand side for the final 4 minutes plus added time here. Played down the line. Back towards Langstaff for Leeds, and now Tanaka, so many blue shirts around the penalty area. And Okafor can come in field again. The cross is over the head of Metcher, and Bart will clear. And now Ward will clip it down the line. Adjamang will try and get that first before Viol, who was holding onto his shirt, and as a result, Derby get a free kick midway inside the Leeds half.
There you go. Knock it up to your big striker. Let him get his body in, protect it. Maybe get you a free kick. That's exactly what Adjamang has done there. And this does represent a decent situation. The ball is going to travel 40 yards here into the Leeds box. But if they can make first contact, Derby, and people are alive and anticipating where it might drop, who knows?
Joe Ward will take this. And this could be Derby's final chance. Ward with the free kick, and it's straight into the arms of Derby.
Didn't need to, again, try to whip it with that pace on it. Just didn't need to do that, just clip it up in the air. So it's pretty straightforward sort of delivery required there. That's a chance, gone missing.
And now also will bring it forward down the left-hand side for Derby. Back infield towards Adams. Ward is forward in space to the right, and he's found by Langas, and he comes infield beyond Harrison. And now Brereton Diaz. Back towards Adams again. And Adams has given the ball away under pressure to Peru. Langstaff blows over with a good chance to win it back. Here is Eames now, but he's challenged on the end of the penalty area by Byron, and the ball spins off Eames and goes behind for a goal kick.
Lucky having Eames there. Tigerish little player who's entered the fray. Always difficult to pick up the speed and the pace of a game when you come on when you're chasing it as well. Not easy, but certainly tried to have an impact.
Brendan Aronson, who scored the winner here last season, will come on now. And there'll be 1 or 2 changes. The first we'll see Anton Stach also come on. And it's John Peru who will come off, and Noah Okafor will be the other. Well, Peru missed the opportunity to score his first goal in this season. with the penalty miss in the first half, or the save from Zetterstrom. And he played a major role in the equaliser, and he comes up with Okafor, and Statch and Aronson will come on for the closing stages, and we have a minute of normal time to play.
Well, for Leeds, they just want to knock it into those wide areas. The likes of Aronson, he's always a willing chaser of any situation. He can go after it and try and keep it. And for Derby, they've just got to get it forward, get it as long and as high as they can, and just try and get some white shirts around it.
Well, side brings it forward. A reminder in the Women's Super League, the top two both winning. Manchester City 2-0 against Everton, Chelsea 5-0 against West Ham. Arsenal drawing 0-0 with Manchester United yesterday. And elsewhere, Aston Villa 2-1 up on Brighton. And Spurs a goal up on Leicester, and Liverpool against London City Lionesses coming up later on. And we are into the final minute here. Leeds coming forward, looking to finish things off, and Statch has been fouled, and there will be a minimum of 4 more minutes at the end of this game, and it will begin with a Leeds free kick in a decent area.
Don't need to necessarily put this in the box. James Justin is standing over the ball. It's about a yard away from the corner of the Derby 18-yard box. So from there, you're always tempted to either try and whip something in or have a shot, but very little time left. Don't be surprised to see Leeds keep this and go for the corner flag.
The end of this game will be straight to Fratton Park for commentary of Portsmouth against Arsenal with Jim Proudfoot and Dean Ashton, with Manchester United against Brighton, exclusive to TalkSport. Also coming up at 4:30 with West Ham Queen's Park Rangers on TalkSport 2. And Leeds have got the free kick here, which Harrison will play short to Justin. The back heel from Harrison doesn't come off, and it's brought forward by Ings, who has been clipped by Harrison, and he takes the yellow card.
Yeah. This one's got to travel 50, 60 yards. You want to be knocking this right to the edge of the Leeds penalty area. Yeah, Zetterstrom is the best player to do that. He can knock the ball a long way. We saw that in the first half. They've got to make first contact with this, Derby. Someone's got to put their head on it.
Everybody forward, everybody back for Leeds. Zetterstrom goes long, looking for Forsyth. And it's hooked away by Statch. High up towards the edge of the area. Bart goes down under the challenge of Aronson. No free kick. And Tanaka will clear. Aronson will try and win it back. But here is Adams. And now Ward will go all the way back to Zetterstrom. And here it comes again. High looking for Adjaman. And he's won the header, but Langas losing out. But then Adams makes the challenge on Langstaff, and it will be a Derby throw-in. Sudden urgency for men with 2 minutes of added time to play and 2 balls on the pitch as well. So they'll have to reset with this throw. So look down the line, looking for Brereton Diaz, and he's penalised for pulling down Harrison, but Anthony Taylor waves play on because Langstaff works it forward to Metcher. And Leeds have got support. It's Justin inside the area, and he scores. And that settles it. James Justin finishes off the counter-attack. And Leeds United ease into the 4th round of the FA Cup. Coming from behind at Pride Park, but on the day, they've just been too good for Derby County. And they'll win this by 3 goals to 1.
Yeah, took their third goal very well there. Derby were pressing, were trying to get into a position to put the ball in the box, but once Leeds prevented that, Sean Longstaff picked his head up. He found Metcher down the left-hand side. He saw James Justin, who I mentioned how quick he is, and his fresh legs. He just knocked it across the penalty spot. And Justin gets there before the goal. He tucks it past him, and Leeds have been full value for the win. Derby haven't had enough, haven't done enough. And this has been a pretty routine victory for Leeds, albeit coming from 1 down.
5 away ties at Derby, 5 victories for Leeds United. Going all the way back to 1962. And the 5,000 Leeds fans on the far side in very good voice. And I spoke to a Derby fan at half-time and he said, you know what's coming, and in the end he's been absolutely right.
Yeah. They've given lots of effort. There's not a lot of confidence in the team. You can tell that the way they're playing.
That's it. Anthony Taylor blows the full-time whistle. Muted applause from the Derby supporters. They saw their team take the lead. They had real hopes of half-time, but Leeds swept them away in the second half. Wilfred Monto, Ayo Tanaka and James Justin with the goals. And Leeds are into round 4 with a good deal to spare. Derby County 1, Leeds United 3.
Well, having gone out in round 3 for 5 seasons on the bounce, Leeds' name will be in the hat for round 4 now for the 4th year in a row, and their fans are in fine voice here at Pride Park. The draw will be live on Drive Monday afternoon. Andy Goldstein and Darren Bibb with you. It will take place at around 6:30 ahead of our live coverage of Liverpool against Barnsley. And by the way, Reds, bad news today. Conor Bradley likely to miss the rest of the season with knee ligament damage. But our focus here, of course, is the victory for Leeds United. Andy Townsend, the former Chelsea and Aston Villa captain, is here. It was just the quality.
Yeah, Derby never really got under the skin of Leeds today. Never really affected them, I don't think, anywhere near enough. They got in front a bit against the run of the play, in all fairness. The Leeds, to their credit, didn't panic. We've seen plenty that do panic in the FA Cup when they go behind. Daniel Farke's team today did not do that. They kept playing their way, and eventually, once Willie Gnonto brought them back on level terms, it was only a case of when really they were going to add to it. No, the score doesn't flatter Leeds at all. They're fully deserving of a 2-goal cushion, and they're comfortable winners here.
Wilfred Gnonto smashed in on 55 minutes. Ayo Tanaka fastest to react after Zetterström had parried a shot from deep just a few minutes later. It was all sealed by James Justin in injury time. The goals themselves and the players that scored them, in particular, Gnonto and two that I had an eye on to really impress themselves on this afternoon. How do you think they did?
I thought they did well. I thought Willie Gnonto got better as the game went on, and actually second half was a good outlet for his team. Produced some good crosses. Great goal, lovely strike from him. He needs to try and replicate that, do a little bit more of that for Leeds in the Premier League, but that'll do his confidence the world of good. Tanaka's got a bit of class about him. He can play as the pivot, he can have the ball under pressure. Whenever he gets up around the edge of the box, he's got a bit of quality. There he was just in the right place at the right moment to just get a tap in. And the third goal from James Justin, pretty much on full time. Again, really nice work from Mecha, who was always a threat today, Lucas Mecha, with his pace and his power. I thought he played particularly well, and James Justin just